Have you ever wondered what it would be like to live through a revolution? Not just any revolution, but one that would change the course of a nation forever? We take you back to the mid-20th century, a time of immense upheaval in the world's most populous nation, China. This was the era of the Cultural Revolution, a decade-long period of intense social and political change that left a profound mark on China's history. At the center of this monumental shift was the formidable figure of Mao Zedong, the then leader of the Chinese Communist Party. Mao initiated the Cultural Revolution with the intention of reasserting his authority over the Chinese government, purging perceived threats to his ideology, and creating a classless society. The period was marked by radical reforms, mass mobilization, and persistent chaos. It was a time of dramatic change, with far-reaching implications for the Chinese people and the world as a whole. The reverberations of this revolution are still felt today, shaping modern China in ways that are both visible and hidden. So buckle up as we journey back in time to the heart of the Cultural Revolution. The stage was set in 1966 when Chairman Mao Zedong decided to reassert his authority over the Chinese Communist Party. Mao, a charismatic and forceful leader, had grown concerned about the direction his nation was taking. He saw a growing divide between the party's original revolutionary ideals and the bureaucratic reality it had become. Mao's motives for initiating the Cultural Revolution were multi-layered. He aimed to eliminate what he perceived as capitalist elements infiltrating the government and society. He saw the encroachment of these elements as a threat to the very ideals that had formed the foundation of the Chinese Communist Party. Moreover, Mao wanted to enforce socialist ideology more strictly. He believed that by promoting a culture of constant revolution, he could ensure the survival of the communist system, keeping it from stagnating or regressing into capitalism. His vision was a society where everyone, from the highest government official to the humblest peasant, was equally dedicated to the principles of socialism. Mao believed that by purging the party and the society of bourgeois elements, he could achieve this utopian vision, and so began a decade of turmoil and transformation. Imagine a world where the old is deemed harmful, and the new is pursued relentlessly. In this period of the Cultural Revolution, we see the rise of the Red Guards, students who pledged their loyalty to Mao Zedong, aiming to rid society of the so-called Four Olds: old customs, old culture, old habits, and old ideas. They staged mass rallies, publicly shamed intellectuals, and destroyed historical artifacts, all in the name of creating a new socialist society. This wave of zealous youth was not the only chaos that swept across the nation. Mass criticism sessions became a tool of psychological warfare, as people were coerced into publicly denouncing their colleagues, friends, and even family members, fueling a climate of fear and suspicion. Historical sites, seen as symbols of China's feudal past, were not spared either. The destruction was rampant, with countless artifacts and buildings of cultural significance lost forever. The impact of these events on Chinese society and politics was profound. The authority of the Communist Party was reinforced as dissent was silenced and Mao's cult of personality grew. The social fabric of the nation was torn apart as trust among people was shattered. The Cultural Revolution was not just a political movement, it was a social upheaval that affected every facet of Chinese life. As the dust settled in 1976, China emerged from the Cultural Revolution drastically changed. The country had been thrown into turmoil, its social fabric torn apart, and its political structure shaken to its core. The death of Mao Zedong, the architect of this revolution, marked the end of an era. The aftermath of the Cultural Revolution was a time of reckoning. The political landscape was left in disarray, with many of Mao's allies purged from their positions and a power vacuum at the top. The Gang of Four, which included Mao's widow, Jiang Qing, were arrested and later tried for their roles in the revolution's excesses. Socially, the revolution had far-reaching consequences. Traditional values and customs were rejected, and the education system was disrupted, leaving a generation of lost youth. The economy too was in shambles, with widespread poverty and unemployment. Yet, in the wake of this upheaval, seeds of change were sown. The lessons of the Cultural Revolution played a crucial role in shaping China's future policies and reforms. The country embarked on a path of economic liberalization and opened itself up to the world, setting the stage for its rise as a global power. The Cultural Revolution, a decade of chaos and change, had left an indelible mark on China. So what can we learn from the Cultural Revolution? As we reflect on this tumultuous period in Chinese history, we find a series of lessons both profound and cautionary. The Cultural Revolution was marked by an extreme ideology, a fervent desire for change that spiraled into chaos and destruction. It serves as a stark reminder of the potential dangers when any ideology is taken to its extreme. This period also underscores the importance of historical preservation. The wanton destruction of cultural and historical artifacts was a significant loss not just for China but for the world. History, in all its complexity, should be preserved and studied, not erased. Yet amid the turmoil, we also witness the indomitable resilience of the human spirit. Despite experiencing great upheaval and hardship, the Chinese people endured, and from the ashes of the revolution, they rebuilt. The Cultural Revolution was a time of great upheaval, but it also serves as a stark reminder of the power of ideology and the resilience of the human spirit.